Good. So what we're gonna go through now is gonna be the scratch test. It's gonna be an upper range of motion test here, okay? So we're gonna start with our hands out in front. We're gonna put our thumbs down, and then we're just gonna close our hands over top. Taking one hand, I'm gonna lift it all the way up in the air, straight up, and then I'm gonna drop it straight down the back side of the body here. Good, we're gonna take that other hand, and we're gonna reach behind, and then up the back side of the body as far as we can. Good. Then I'm gonna come around and just check things. Good, it's a little broken here. Got a decent distance here. Scapula's kind of pulled back on this side. Good. Okay, let's go ahead and rest and relax. And then let's try the other side. So same thing, thumbs are down, fingers over top, raising one hand all the way up, drop it along the back side. Good, and then reach back and then up as far as you can. Good. A lot better here. A little broken there, still. Scalps are retracted back. Good. And go ahead and rest. Beautiful. Any pain or discomfort with any of those movements there? Okay, awesome. Awesome. So we're gonna test here, Rebecca, is just gonna be our squat pattern, okay? So again, I'm gonna give you a few cues, try and execute those cues to the best of your current capabilities, don't force anything. So for this air squat pattern, what we're gonna think about here is we're gonna get our feet set up roughly about hip to shoulder width apart, somewhere where you feel comfortable. Comfortable here? Good. I'm gonna ask you to bring your hands up overhead into a wide position. Biceps will be close to the ears. Good. And then from here, what we're gonna think about is gonna be a couple things. Your feet are gonna stay firmly planted on the floor. We're gonna pull our hips down as far as we can while maintaining an upright, rigid torso as possible, okay? We're gonna execute about 5 reps here. And go when you're ready. Beautiful. Go ahead, rest and relax. Stop. Okay. Awesome. So what we're going to test here is going to be our single leg strength or unilateral strength. So we're going to test our lunge pattern for today. It is going to be a difficult pattern, so just know that before we get started. You may or may not be able to execute it, but be okay with that, okay? It's going to be a challenging pattern, but that's what it's designed for. So to get properly started, set up, and executed, I'm going to have you go ahead and take a seat. Sit on your butt with your feet facing forward. Okay, now I'm going to mark off a couple points here, okay? So what we're going to look at doing is we're going to mark off the outside of the thigh or the greater trochanter, and then I'm going to measure out your heel. This is going to get us into a proper alignment for our lunge step pattern, okay? So I'm going to place the tape here at the ankles. So I've got the edge of the tape to the bottom side of the ankle. And then right on the greater trochanter of the thigh here. Got about where it's at. Cool. And now what I'm going to have you do is we're going to come up to our feet. And we're going to start with our toes behind the line here. Good. With one of those feet, I want you to go ahead and take a step forward, and your heel is going to clear the blue tape right here. So it'll be a big step out. Good. I'm going to have you go ahead and scoop that back foot back just a little bit, inch it back right there. Good. And then bring that front heel maybe just a tad bit forward. Good. From here, keeping balance with me, hang on to me now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have you scoop this foot out just a little bit so you have a little bit more balance. There you go. Good. Now from here, we're going to cross the arms over into like a genie pose. It's going to maintain a torso that's vertical. Good. Now all I want you to do is try and kiss your back knee to the floor and then rise back up. Beautiful. And let's do 2 more here. Good. Beautiful. Go ahead and come back to center and recover. Good. And then we'll go ahead and let's try the other side out. Same thing, toe behind line, big lunge step forward. Let's bring that one forward, good. Heel in front, good. Let's go ahead and, there you go. Follow the back foot. I'm gonna have you turn this foot in just a tad bit right there. Good. Cross the arms so the torso stays vertical. And we're gonna execute the same thing. So we're just gonna look to kiss that back knee to the floor and then drive right back to standing. Before you do that, go ahead and scoot this back just a tiny bit. You're a little farther. There you go. Good. And go. 1, Go ahead, rest and relax. Solid. Cool. So the next one we're going to go through is going to be the toe touch test here, okay? So it's going to test spinal flexion and extension, and it's going to test the integrity of our upper, lower, and our neck here, okay? So with our feet together, we'll go ahead and set up here. Good. The only rule here is to keep the legs nice and straight. Now all I want you to think about with taking your time is reach down as far as you can. Okay? Don't rush, nice and slow if you need to, good. And then come back up. Beautiful. And then we're gonna repeat that just a couple more times for validity here. And last one. And rest. Any pain or discomfort with this movement? Beautiful. Where are you feeling it at the most when you do this one?
Kind of achy and stiff down here, but
little achy and stiff
in the middle.
Okay. Okay. Little tightness in the lower area and then stiff in the upper area. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. We'll go ahead and rest. So here we're going to test our active straight leg raise. It's going to test our hamstring and our calf flexibility as well as our pelvic stability here, okay? So if the arm just kind of down slightly at an angle here. Good. Again, the only thing with this one is going to be we're going to keep the leg nice and straight so the knees are going to be straight the entire time. The other thing that we're going to think about here is going to be pulling your toes up towards your face right now, or that dorsiflex position. Good, so we're gonna maintain that dorsiflex position with a straight leg while doing this, okay? So on one side, we're just gonna bring the leg straight up as high as we can. Good, and then we're gonna lower it back down nice and controlled, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do that same side 2 more times. Good. Last one. Good, and rest. Good. And then let's go ahead, let's move to the other side. We're gonna do that same thing. So with the toes pointing up towards the face, hold dorsey. Good. Maintain a straight leg. Just bring it up as high as you feel comfortable. Good. And one more time. Nice. Awesome. Go ahead and rest and relax. Any pain or discomfort with this movement? Nope. Okay, where are you currently feeling this one at? Low back area again, okay? So we recognize we got a little stiffness in the low back so far in testing. Awesome, I'm having you roll over to your side and then come up from there. Beautiful. Go ahead, rest and relax. So what we're gonna test here is gonna be our front plank, okay? So again, we're gonna test core strength and stability. We're also going to test core endurance here, as well as spinal alignment, okay? So the way that we're going to get set up into this is we're going to start into a 4-point kneeling stance. So let's go ahead and get stacked. Good. And what we're going to ensure is that the wrist is directly underneath the shoulder and the fingers are facing forward. Beautiful. Knees are underneath the hips. And I'm going to ask you to start by like kind of protract the shoulders and feel that position. Go ahead and rest. Okay, so we're going to ensure that we're kind of in that protracted position as we move through this as well, okay? So what we're going to do here is I'm going to have you just take one leg and go ahead and kick it straight back to the ball of the foot. Beautiful. And then when I say go, all we're going to do is kick that other leg back with it, and then we're going to hold and squeeze, okay? I do want you to think of being tight through that midline, so just as if somebody's punching you in the stomach, we're going to maintain that brace position, okay? Any questions on our testing here? Nope. Beautiful. All right, so when you're ready here, we'll go ahead and kick that other leg back, and then we'll start press. Beautiful. And again, we'll look at the shoulders here. Good. Beautiful, and rest. Solid. Awesome, how'd that one feel? Okay, where do you start to feel that one at? Same area again, right? In that mid to upper back, okay. Any pain or discomfort besides that given area?
No.
Okay, awesome. Could you feel your shoulder blades kind of start to sink just a little bit towards the end, and you kind of auto-corrected it by trying to press it right back out, right? So just lets us know again that we're having some shoulder blade issues, okay? Just like in the scratch test, I think we identified that the scapulars are kind of winging back just a little bit, and then here we're struggling to maintain that protracted position as well. So a little bit of issues that we've identified so far with the shoulder blade, so we'll take care of that with program design, okay? Questions on this movement here?
Yep.
Awesome. Go ahead and rest. Awesome. What we're going to test here is going to be our reverse plank, okay? So the reverse plank is going to test our pulling capabilities as well as our ability to retract our shoulder blades and hold stability, okay? We're also going to test a little bit of the hips since we will be asking you to drive the hips actively up to the ceiling while maintaining that position. Like we kind of identified and talked about as well, trying to think of keeping that head more in that neutral position if we can here, okay? So I'm gonna have you go ahead and start seated here with your toes facing the door. Beautiful. We're just gonna have our hands directly by our sides as we sit up nice and tall. Good. For this position, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna turn so the fingers face back. Yes, ma'am. Good. And then again, the wrists are gonna be kind of underneath that shoulder, maybe just a little bit back if we need to. Okay, we just don't wanna reach too far back. Good. From this position here, keeping the belly tight and the shoulders retracted, we're just going to think of pushing our hips straight up to the ceiling. So I have you just lightly push up real quick. Your toes can just kind of face down. There you go, straighten all the way out. Good. There you go. Beautiful. And then just come down and rest. Good. How's that position feel? Pretty... Can execute now? Okay. So, and this one, the toes don't need to stay dorsally flexed, just kind of relax the feet. Again, all we're going to look for is everything lined up, shoulders, hips, and heels in a nice stacked position, okay? Again, once you start to feel loss of anything, you start to feel any pain or discomfort, it's over, just come back down, okay?
Okay.
All right, ready? And drive your hips up when you're ready. Good. Looking strong. Good. Very good. How'd that one feel? Okay. Where was it feeling? The neck, right? Yeah, kind of again like we identified prior to this testing of like where the neck was going to be. And again, had a little bit of tension. You can kind of see everything turning on the front side of your neck as you're holding stable. Shoulder blades, anything else kind of feeling any wonkiness or anything? No? Everything feels strong? Good. Beautiful. Come on up. Great execution. So we're at a full minute of those. So plank. 1 minute. And reverse plank. Is 1 minute. Cool. All right, our last portion for this stuff. Awesome. So what we're going to test here is we're going to test our core stability and endurance by going through a side plank, okay? So we're going to start on your non-dominant side. I'm going to have you go ahead and lie on your side. We're going to face that direction. Feet will go towards the door here. Okay, and what we're going to do is, yeah, absolutely, we're going to have the feet start step. Good, and then I'm going to have you get your elbow so it's right underneath the shoulder here. Beautiful. And just for testing purposes, what I'm going to have you do is we're going to take this hand here, we're going to place it right at the top of the hip. Okay, so all we're going to look at doing is we're going to look at pushing the hips up towards the ceiling right here. So go ahead and just push it up real quick. And then we're going to maintain this rigid midline, okay? I'm going to go ahead and touch your sides. Good. So I want you to think of holding that brace position the entire time. Go ahead and rest and relax. Beautiful. Okay. Any questions on how we're going to execute this? Okay. Once you start to feel like you're losing that midline stability, you start to feel like your shoulders are going to give out, just go ahead and rest and relax. We don't need to force it. Again, we're just testing where we're currently at, okay? Any questions on that? We are going to look for roughly about a 90-second hold if we can. Okay. Ready? Yeah. All right. And we'll come up. We're going to hold. So again, we're going to maintain brace. Shoulders. Got a little shaky. Okay, good. Go ahead, rest. Good. Pain or discomfort with that one? A little challenging on that side, huh?
It's just challenging.
Okay, okay. No pain, no discomfort or anything like that? Okay. Start to lose a little bit of the shoulder first. You kind of feel the shoulder start to lose first, and then the hip started to come with it.
Yep.
Okay, so just something for us to recognize. And again, that was starting on your non-dominant side, correct?
Right.
Okay, awesome. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and let's go the other direction. So we're still facing. So we'll go ahead and we'll kick our feet this direction now. Beautiful. And let's go ahead and we'll just take like a quick little rest here, and then we'll get in a position again. Okay.
Okay.
Still comfortable down there? You need a mat or anything for the shoulder or the forearm there? All right, feeling ready to go again? Okay. So we're gonna go in about 5 seconds. And we'll come up. Good. And again, maintain that same rigid midline position. Good. Everything lined up. Good. And rest and relax. Beautiful. Any pain or discomfort with this movement here on this side? Awesome. Where do you start to feel this one at first? Okay, so this one we felt more into that side. Not as much into the shoulder, a little less shaking on this side compared to the other side, right?
Yes.
Okay, but again, still kind of lacking on both sides. I think we identified that prior to all of this assessments as well,
Yes.
right? Awesome. We'll come up. It's very good. 36 and